What's going on, YouTube fam? It's your boy Kales.
And my name is Miguel Perez, just in case you forgot.
And we're here at Airplay Studios getting some things going on, having a good time, and ready for the next episode here that we're about to make some stuff happen. I know you got a few things you were...
Yeah, it takes a little bit to get going today, but we finally got going, putting everything together. We want to make sure everything is right before we get going.
Absolutely.
So it takes a little bit for us to set up and stuff. We get started at 3 and it's already 4:30. And
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, I mean, he's got to make sure that everything's set up. He does a great
job. Make sure
job.
everything is right and everything's perfect before we get going and stuff. That way, when we do get going, we don't want to put something out there that's not good. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely not.
So I'm somewhat of a perfectionist. I know you are. I know Frank is.
Frank,
yeah. And it's great. That way we don't put something that's watered down or cheesy, as the word says. Millennials use cheesy or all these other words and stuff like that. But you know what? I really thought that this podcast was about to be over this last week, Kelton.
Oh, God.
I'm going to tell people what happened. And I don't know if Frank knows what happened, but my daughter reaches out to me like at 1:30 in the morning. She said, man, there was a motorcycle wreck right down the road from where we live. And Kelton lives down the street from where my daughter lives. And I was like, really? And she sends me a picture, and it's a blue motorcycle. And I'm not remembering what color Kelton's motorcycle is, so I go look at his videos on his Facebook page, and they're riding a blue motorcycle. And man, my heart starts beating, it starts pounding, and I'm like, and then she said, "This guy's dead. He's a young man," and I was like, right down the street from where you live, Kelton. And,
like literally 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Like not even.
Well, the library, I was like, well, man, my heart's beating and I'm pounding. I was like, no way, it can't be Kelton. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll call him early in the morning. And I couldn't help myself. I ended up calling him at 2 o'clock in the morning just to check if he was alive.
That's a friend.
I was asleep too. And of course, I answered it because, like, whenever I get calls at that late at night, anyways, I just know that if something's probably wrong if you're calling me at that time. So I'm gonna answer that phone regardless of how tired I am, just in case, because I might be able to like save a friend from driving drunk home.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you did, because I'm serious. I was really nervous about it, and I thought, man, Kelton's got killed, and he does ride his bike, and he rides it crazy, so it wasn't far-fetched.
I don't know about crazy.
I've seen your videos, man. You could do some crazy stuff.
That's different, though. I no longer have a stunt bike. I have just a regular bike, so I don't do tricks on it. I just ride around.
And then to top it off, it was like right next to your birthday. So I was like, man, maybe this guy went out on his birthday and he got buzzed and he started driving home, because I've seen you drive a car, and I can imagine on a motorbike. Well, I mean, nevertheless, man, I'm just glad it wasn't you, dude, because that really was.
And just a precursor here, I am not a horrible driver or a horrible rider. I like to have fun. I'm one of those guys that love the cars. I love bikes. I love to have fun on them.
He's a young man behind the wheel.
They're toys to me, so we play with them as toys.
He's a young man behind the wheel, and he drives like a young man. I'm an older man. I'm like, put your seatbelt on, put the signal. You don't have to go over 55. Why are you driving so crazy? That's the stage I'm in right now.
Put my seatbelt on.
I really wish age was the deciding factor then, because I'm at retirement age, and everybody knows me. I've got the reputation on the 4-wheel cage.
No, I don't. I'm just like, I'm very aware when I'm too where, like, I've seen too many wrecks. I traveled all over, and I've seen some real ugly accidents. And then on YouTube, they're posting some real stupid accidents, real simple things that people are just not paying attention to.
Oh, I love watching those videos, those dash cam videos.
Yeah, the dash cam videos.
That. I really do. It's so fun.
Man. I get on my toes, dude. They make me nervous. I'm like, what's going to happen here? Sometimes I even have to turn them off just in case something really ugly happens. Yeah. I can't handle that. It bothers me.
So me riding a bike already is a thing. So I have to be head on a swivel at all times, no matter what. Anyway, so it's like, those things just interest me because I see it coming from a mile away most of the time. I can tell when something's going to happen, and I'm always wanting something to kind of like throw me off, like something that's going to be, oh, what the heck just happened?
Well, I figured that, but the kid that passed away, and I mean, I don't know if they even know about this part, probably not, but, to the parents, condolences, but
absolutely,
the kid was only 18, and supposedly the lady just drove out in front of him. He didn't see it.
That happens. But from what I understand, he was also at fault too, because he was going faster than he should have been.
Yeah, well, they always do on those motorcycles.
Certain streets, it's not good to. But he was only 18. He didn't understand yet. Like, this life, being in the bike life in general, and a lot of people don't realize this, but being in bike life, you are so hyper aware of everything going on to the point like if someone's gonna pull out in front of you, but whenever you first start, you don't know none of this. You don't realize how important these guys on these bikes, like how important their awareness is
stuff like that.
to them, because they really have to take care of themselves, because these people, they don't, if they just glance that, oh, nothing's there, they're looking for a big block of metal going down the road. So whenever they don't see that big block of metal, you just don't exist.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, all week long I deal with it every day that I ride.
Yeah, no, I don't even like going near motorcycle people, because I was like, I just don't want to be the cause of something happening. I know a lot of people ride by. My brother-in-law rides a bike, and he got in a wreck over there in Phoenix, Arizona. Just a lady just freaking stopped in front of him, and he ends up hitting,
That's why I
busy
get in front of
highway.
people.
Yeah, and I'm like, so I know things can happen.
And they get mad at us for like splitting lanes and stuff. Like, no, you're like, you can stop on a dime compared to a bike. A bike can't. We're not as capable in the braking. That's why whenever you get a motorcycle, your most important things are brakes and tires.
Yeah, so
those are the top safety needs that you have to have.
I get to man, but I see couples on there, and I'm thinking, man, why would you take a woman on there? I mean, I guess it's good, but the accidents that I hear and seen, man, they just joy. But and okay, and I can even give you a woman, but why would you put a kid on the bike, man? The kid is just, I think that
my kids love it.
Yeah, I know they love it, but
my kids
those
it.
are
because I'm not going to put them in a situation that I can't.
Exactly. Well, that's what they call them, accidents. I'm pretty sure this kid didn't mean to want to do that. Accidents happen. You know what I'm saying?
But like I said, it was I don't know what exactly happened, and it's not my place to say that something should have happened or nothing, because I don't know all what happened, because obviously they're not going to tell.
It was outright accident. Yeah. Nobody purposely did anything.
Right.
Wrong.
But what I was going to get at is, I think that most likely they're both at fault.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that as a motorcycle rider, and a lot of people are going to hate this, you have to take accountability for yourself. You really do, because yes, people do dumb things, especially to motorcycles. They think that they can just move over on you. They think that they can just like cause problems just to cause problems, because you're on a bike, so you're obviously not going to take a hit as well as they will. They'll get out the vehicle and be just fine, versus while I'm sliding on the ground trying to not hit another car.
Exactly.
So it's more, take the responsibility when you ride motorcycles, that you are aware of what's going on. You've got to make sure that you're constantly on your toes. Keep that situational awareness up at all times.
Yeah, I think
head on a swivel.
I know how to ride a bike, and I get on one here and there. But I remember one time my brother, he was supposed to come pick up the bike at work, and he didn't. And I lived in Arkansas at this time,
Yeah.
There was this big old back road just empty, and I got out of work, and I didn't see him. I was like, well, I'll just ride the back home.
Yeah.
So, and I got out of the parking lot, and I hit the highway, man, and I'm like, boom, I took off, dude. I hit with like a 90 in no time, and I was flying down the road. So I didn't get to the red light, and I was there, and I was like, stopped at a store and stuff, and here comes my brother, pissed, man, behind me. God damn, you can't be driving that fast. I was like, man, I didn't even realize that I flew that down the road, man. It just, you hit that road.
It's nothing like driving a car.
Yeah.
When you're driving a car, you just, your speed.
Yeah.
You can just tell because of, I guess your foot, your throttle pressure and all that stuff. But whenever you're on a bike, man.
Oh, man. It was a rush. I enjoyed it, but, I didn't realize, he said, man, they're just freaking a little dot in the rear mirror. I left them behind so fast.
See, I got a buddy that gave me this really funny story that, well, it wasn't like, it's not really funny, but it really shows how quick the bikes are. And they basically, the way he explained it, it was like, okay, so we were, riding bikes, and he swapped me bikes. He was on a dirt bike style bike, which we call a supermoto, because we can put them on the, or not a supermoto. Anyways, we put the dirt bikes, they're street legal. You put regular tires on them. You have to change a few things, but for the most part, it all works in unison, right? So he was on that all the time. I was on my 1000 that I had, 1000 cc, so it's a lot faster than even this bike is. And he what did he do? He was like trying to play with us, and he took off. And he like looked down. He's like, "Oh crap, I'm doing like 160." Because like you don't feel it once you just tuck in. You like the wind is just going right over you and stuff. And he's like, "Dude," he's like, "that scared the crap out of me. I was having so much fun until I looked down at the speed." And he's like, "Oh crap!"
Yeah, no, that thing's take off, man. So that's like. I don't know. I would have pointed out like in my life, and I'm like, I'm trying to be more safe than anything else. So I'm very aware. I've become that old man down the road just driving real slow. It's like seeing all these people fly by. Where are they going? Man, they can slow down. You know, that's where I'm at right now.
Me personally,
but the bad thing is, the worst thing is I really thought you were dead, man. And I was like, man. You know, I have a good time with Kelton. We have a good time with him. We'll go play pool and stuff like that. And I've lost friends, you know what I'm saying, here recently. And it's bad because they call you. It's like, hey, so-and-so passed away. I went to your funeral not too long ago. A guy I haven't seen forever. And, you know, he passed away. And he had been planning to come down and stuff. Another guy, he had reached out to me 2 or 3 times. And I never could answer him. I was always tied up. I was always busy, you know, or I felt, you know what I'm saying. And then next thing you know, he died. And I felt super bad because I have on my phone missed calls by him 3 times where he just wanted to talk. And I didn't take the time to do it. You know, and now he's dead. You know, it's like.
So you can't have that conversation.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So, man, it starts really getting to me now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, we get into arguments, we get into fights, we get mad at people for literally almost no reason, no good reason. And I don't talk to them no more like that. And then something like this takes place, man, and just puts you back in reality checks. Like, you know what? The hell? Why am I really that mad about stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry for your pain, but I'm glad you feel that way, Miguel.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But
it takes those lessons, man. It really does. And that's why, like, with this, the way that I am, I treat everybody as best as I can. So I'm kind of an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, you are. I'm just
and I knew he was going to say that. I knew it was going to come.
I'd say narcissist, but I can't
like
spell
I said,
it.
I do like to treat people as good as I can. I don't try to harbor no false feelings or any negative emotions towards certain people. Man, and it's hard to do that because it takes a bigger man to walk away from situations like that.
And it's crazy because you know, you're still young. At your age, dude, I don't care. They call me the man with no heart. That's literally was my nickname, the man with no heart. And I just didn't care. I'll do what I need to do. I got to live life. It's about my family. I didn't care. No problem. Didn't even bug me twice. Yeah. And now, I could watch a freaking TV show and I'm crying because somebody died. I'm like, what the heck, man? I'm serious, man. It bothers me big times. It's like, is it me, Frank, or is that just past 50?
I do it.
Wait till you start crying when somebody finally kisses. You know it's going to happen, right? That's when you know you're getting freaking old.
I haven't got that point, but you know.
I don't know about crying over that stuff, but when it finally happens, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. You know, I'm getting all excited in that. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you get so, like, invested in it emotionally.
I
really do.
I catch myself getting emotional just thinking about certain things, and I'm like, man, why am I getting emotional about this?
It's good to be emotional, but you just have to understand how to control the emotions. Don't let them just overwhelm your whole life.
Well, the whole thing is, I just want to get to the point. I just want to get to my point. I don't want to have static with people because you just never know. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Anytime my daughters or my son or anything like that, anytime something happens, I immediately try to like, hey, I don't want this to go on. I don't want this to drag. Let's fix this now.
Yeah.
You know, my brothers and stuff like that, because I just don't want, you know. My brother-in-law got killed in an ugly accident, you know what I'm saying? And me and him fought the whole time. Him and my younger sister were dating, you know? Yeah. And they finally get married. Everything's great. And a year later, he gets killed in an ugly accident, you know? And, man, I think our family, which were the in-laws, were more broken about it than his other family, you know what I'm saying? Because we brought him into the family and we embraced him. My family's super tight. Yeah. And that happened, man, I just felt bad. I was like, man, I wasted all those years fighting with this kid for nothing, you know?
Yeah, just for him to leave this earth and now you can't say nothing to him again.
Exactly, man. So it's just impacting me, and I notice it gets heavier every year on me and stuff like that.
Well, it's good though, but that's why I like whenever people.
I liked it better when I had no heart. Honestly, I was a lot happier when I had no heart, man. Yeah, so it sounds odd, it sounds weird. You know what I'm
saying? No, you felt more like you were able to step away and not have to worry about those things that shouldn't affect you, but it does. Everything gets affected. Yeah, that's why I like when people get mad at me, they're like whenever I was doing the stunt riding and stuff all the time, you know, everybody would be mad. Why do you keep doing that? You wrecked like 5 times, you know. you've had surgery, you've cracked ribs. You know, I collapsed my lung. I cracked my ribs on one. I had surgery on my knee one time. Like, it's not a sport
safe.
for the. No, it's just not a sport for the weak. I mean I mean that wholeheartedly. But the thing is
Knievel.
the thing is though, for me, I love that stuff. That's why, like, you know, you said about driving the cars the way I do, driving the bikes the way I do. I do it because I love it. It's just something that I genuinely love so much. And if I die doing that thing that I love, that's fine with me. Yeah, I'm perfectly okay with it.
Well, I guess it does affect you.
I mean, I'm dead. So yeah.
But it affects everybody around you. That's the hard part.
That's why, like, I had a buddy that passed away. His name was Luke I can't speak right now. His name's Luke. And he was a great dude. Like, great, genuine-hearted person, dude. He was such an amazing guy. He really was. Like, this dude, I'm not just saying no because he's passed away. Like, this dude was literally a really great guy. And I mean that he loved people no matter what. This dude had such love inside of his heart, such greatness. This is a golden-hearted person, genuinely. And man, he was riding with us. Well, he was doing a wheelie, and he died. He passed away. He ended up wrecking, and I don't know all what happened. I think he hit a car, and which I'm glad that it was straight away. There was no suffering. They said he was dead on impact, and that's the best I can ask for. You know what I mean?
Under circumstances, yeah.
Yeah. So that part for me is good. But then I thought about it, and everybody's all sad. They're like, he shouldn't have gotten on that bike. You know, everybody's saying all this stuff. I was like, why? I guarantee he'd do it again. Mm-hmm. I guarantee he would have got up and done it again. And that's how I feel. So I'm like, I'm going to go out like that. Like, I'm fine with that. And maybe it's just me because I don't fear death, because I know that after death, it's even better. As long as I do what I'm supposed to do anyways, obviously. But, you know, as like, I'm not fearing that. So it doesn't bother me if it happens. Like, you know what I mean? It won't.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't bother because when you're the one dying, it's just like, well, anybody.
But that's why I said with him, it was.
I've heard people, when I die, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. You know, the funerals are not for you. The funerals are for the people to grieve.
Dude, no, I'll tell you.
And I have yet to see people really go at a funeral, be all excited, you know, all happy, all, you know.
No, with my buddy, that Luke guy, I'm telling you, we went out. The funeral was, you know, sad, but dude, we went out, we rode. We had a group of bikes, like I'm talking like 100 people on bikes, rode to the funeral all together from one place to there, you know, and I was a little upset because they said no wheelies. I'm like, why? Like, if I'm telling you right now, if my funeral ever happens and people are able to ride still, if I'm old or whatever, that's a different thing, but y'all better have fun. Go do something.
Just letting you right
Go
now.
Enjoy yourself.
I'll ride on your deal. If something happened to you, and I'll pop a wheelie. Okay.
No, because you're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, no, my BMX bike.
Okay.
I could do bike.
Okay, you can do that.
I said, man, the motorcycle got
No. But what I'm saying is, like, I
bike.
want y'all to have fun. Like, y'all should celebrate the funeral. Everybody gets all sad about it. Celebrate that man's life. I mean, yeah, I know you lost somebody,
it's
but
hard.
For me,
you go to a parent, and the parent's like, "Oh, God, these freaking disrespectful kids. I just understand he died." See, they're looking at it totally different.
Yeah.
You're looking at his buddy point of view. Hey, man, he died.
I still love this man.
A parent, you're like, I don't care.
If my, you know, I mean, yeah, I
Frank,
know.
what do you think about that? I mean,
I know you're losing your son. It would be,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. This
excellent stuff here, right?
It's just that people have different points of view about death. You know what I'm saying? I had a nephew, and my nephew was.
I'm telling y'all right now, this is my serious thing. I will put together a deal for everybody to have freaking tasers, and last man standing gets the bike. I'm not even joking. That's how fucking fun I want them to go and celebrate. I don't want people to sit there and like just be sad the whole time. Enjoy it. Have fun. Fucking have the best time of your life there. Even if you get like, you know, fucked up or get too drunk. I don't care.
That'll come, but, you know, the immediate response is going to be grief. You know what I'm saying? Because there's seasons. You know what I'm saying? The immediate response, I had to just... The whole point, I guess, is just make sure that you're good with people. You know, I had a nephew. My nephew wasn't up and right kid. He just got involved in drugs, got involved in dealing, always in trouble. Kind of person that, man, if he shows up, you got to kind of be careful. I mean, he's family. We love him. We accept him.
The wrong way.
Yeah, we accept his family, accept him. We love him. We take him in. We always try to help him. Most time, you change your life and everything. And then one day, they gave us the call. He fell asleep, quote unquote, on the tracks of the train and got killed. And it wasn't a shock to us and stuff like that, but. And you still feel that grief. It's like, well, he was our family, And, you start feeling bad because when he came over, you're like, okay,
You had to tiptoe.
You had to tiptoe, watch, be careful with him, but family's family, all that will hit you at the end of. You start thinking, what could I have done to help him out more? Maybe I should have done more. But all that is a grieving process. And everybody grieves one way or another. You got to have some type of grief.
There is. There's always a process of grieving. I just, I don't know, me and death, I don't fear it. I've never been worried about dying.
I fear it.
I don't get all for a minute or so, like two or 3 days, I'll get emotional about it, and I'll feel some type of way. But after that,
I fear it because not so much for myself, because when you die, it's over. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different level of thinking afterwards. I believe our spirits move on. Whether they go up or down, it's a different story.
That's why I said I got to do things right.
However, I'm like, okay, as a parent now, I have 2 daughters. I have a son. What's going to happen to them? I'm their backup. I know their mom's going to be there, but I don't, it's not I don't trust their mom. If their mom can't, then I have to, man, all that's in play. You still, they're grown up.
Yeah, but the sun always rises.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm
until
not saying
the
that.
day that it doesn't.
I just say the reason I fear death is not because, to live is Christ, to die is gain. To shut your eyes here, you open up before the Lord. The incorruptible has to leave before the corruptible has to leave before the incorruptible comes. All that I know and I understand. I'll preach and I'll teach it. However, I still have kids that, man, I just need to make sure they're okay. And that would be my biggest fear in dying.
But here's the thing I'm gonna get you with. This is why I don't have that problem. Yeah. Because if I'm right and God does exist in the way that I feel he does, he's going to take care of them just like he took care of me.
Yeah, but still.
That right there makes me feel so much better because I know no matter what, that they are going to be taken care of in some sort of fashion.
But that
when
fear
they really need
that fear is still not eliminated. My son can tell me, hey, I'm kind of coming. We have a family reunion coming up. You know what I'm saying? And my son has to come up for dinner. He always drives. So every time he comes and makes a trip, I mean, I'm telling him, you call me when you leave. You call me when you're here. You call me when you're here. Dude, until he tells me I'm here, Dad, I'm like, I can't sleep. I'm worried. I was like that because he's my son. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's the part that I guess it's in me. It's like, who's going to watch over? Who's going to check over them? You know what I'm saying? That's the part as a parent. Yeah. And now my grandkids here, and I'm like, I'm keeping an eye on you, all right? I mean, that worries me too. And to a certain degree, it sucks because you're thinking, okay, your kids are grown. You're raising your kids, and you're nervous for, you're scared for them, and make sure they're safe. And then they're grown up, they're married now, they got their men, they got their women. All right,
you still care.
Now it's like I can relax. No, that's a lie.
Yeah, because you still care.
Right, it keeps going.
Yeah,
I'm still nervous for them. I'm still scared
because you want them to do better than you are, and if you know what you did when you were that young, so it's like I don't want this to happen. I don't.
I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? Man, they're good, or they're getting along, and they fight, all that stuff, man, goes through you and stuff.
That's why I feel the way I do, and people think that, like, maybe I'm insensitive, I guess would be the word that most people would use. They're like, you just don't care. No, it's not that I don't care. It's the fact of two things. Whenever I was younger, my Nana told me something that always stuck to me, never left. And it was always, God would not put something on your plate that you can't handle. Never will he do that. And that resonated with me for a long time. It took me a while to understand what it really meant. Like, because I was younger. Ever since that one line, I was like, I can handle anything that's put on my plate. I can handle anything that can get done. And then I started thinking about it. So it's not just me that's that way either, though. He does that for him. He does that for you. He does that for every person watching this. So like, I'm not worried about it. I don't concern it anymore because there's so much to that. And then it comes down to the other thing that I heard that just made it made more structure to it. You know, crap, I almost lost it again.
Well, here's the deal. When a person tells you, "Hey, God won't give you more than what you can handle," okay, the reason, number one, they're telling you that is because apparently you're going through some stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's making you question, hey, where's God on this? And then somebody will tell you, hey, don't worry, God won't give you more you can handle. But that does not exempt you from going through stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I know people
that's fine.
Divorce, separation, they lost a child, they lost a parent, they lost a job, they lost a career, they lost money and stuff like that. And they're like, where's God? And it's like, oh, God won't give you more than what you can handle. Yeah, exactly. You're going to be able to handle this. Yeah. But it does not exempt you from going through that.
Yeah, it's not going to not hurt. It's not going to not hurt. It's not going to
God forbid, when one of my parents is gone, I was like, it's going to hit me hard because it's my parents, of course. You know what I'm saying? Can I handle it? Am I going to be able to handle it? Yes. Yeah. Because God's going to give me that strength. Does that mean I don't fear it or don't dread it? No.
But that's why I sat there, and that's why my second quote makes the best thing that really makes structure to the foundation to that first one is, you get to a certain point in life that like, you have to learn to let go of things. You just have to. You have to learn to just let it go. And the thing that you have to realize to let go is the things that you cannot control. If you have no control in it, you have no way to make it move the way you want it to move, let it go. Seriously. That right there, along with the idea that, what's on your plate you can handle at all times, those two things, in my mind, create a structure of my one of my core beliefs. And it makes me understand the world is what it is. Everything's going to go the way it's going to go regardless of what I do about it. So I need to learn to let it go, and I need to learn that it was put on my plate for a reason. I can eat that just fine. It may hurt, it may burn, it may be too hot, it may be too spicy. It may be food poisoning. It doesn't matter what it is, I can still eat it. And I can still survive, and I keep going. And the day that I don't survive it, it was my time to get the heck out of here, because this world sucks.
Well, I think it's a great world, man. I really do.
No, I'm talking about like the people doing the things that they're doing. I think that the world is a beautiful place.
Well, I think, yeah.
I'm more referring to the people. The people suck.
One guy said, management would be great if it wasn't for one thing, the people.
So, I mean, we're technically the aliens on this planet. Everything else works in unison. We're the only thing that don't.
For me, letting it go is, as much as I guess you could say fear and makes you nervous, makes you worried, I mean, I gotta let them live life, what I'm saying? Now, where you're not letting it go is when you try to do things that you try to affect the outcome. I know some people they don't want to move out of they don't want their kids to move out because if they move out, then they're gonna go do this and they're gonna do that and they're just gonna ruin everything. I'd rather just him be right here. Yeah. No, that's not letting it go.
I dated a girl that had parents like that. They were always trying to make sure that she was doing what she needed to do at all times. They were always like up her ass about it. And I always thought it was weird. I'm like I get it. They were religious too. So, they were like, you have to follow this, you have to follow it. And I'm like, yeah, but you're worried about, being able to fight these temptations of the world. But you're not giving them the opportunity to learn how to do that.
Yeah, you can't.
Put them in the world. Let them go. Let them figure it out. Because if you sit there and coddle and shelter these people, they become easy to they're susceptible to all the worldly sins. It's so easy to fucking say, I pray every day, I don't go outside, I don't do nothing, so I'm doing good. But the moment you go out there and you do something and you get tempted and you do it, where's that thing you were talking about? 3 weeks in a row you didn't do this because you didn't put yourself in that position. So you have to train not just mentally, but you have to train out there. You have to be around it and not be susceptible to it.
I heard of one person's like, their kids were there and their kids were like doing all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, hey, a lot of things. Well, I'd rather them do it here than to be out doing it out there. At least here I can keep an eye on them. Which I totally disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude,
I get that with certain things,
because
but
it's like,
not
okay,
everything.
it's like, okay, then why have laws? You know they're going to break those laws, but you still got to put laws in, and they got to follow. And if they don't follow, then they have to learn there's consequences. Yeah. So keep it. I'll have right here. No, you got to teach them not to do it. You know what I'm saying? If you do, at least try to be responsible. But Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If you go out, and they break these rules or break these laws, they're going to be constant, and then they grow. Then you learn. You know what I'm saying? But
I've learned the best
thing
lessons
don't work.
that way.
That little theory there does not work. You know
I've learned the best lessons I've ever experienced in my life through just, doing things, finding out that I was stupid and I messed up and I got my consequences. Yeah. I have learned the best things like that. That's why it's funny because when my kids' mom, when they get upset at me they get upset with me because I'm like, no, let them go, let them have fun. I'm not gonna sit here and hold their hand all day long. Like, let them go play. They want to go outside in the backyard, jump on a trampoline, fall off of it. I don't care. Let them do it. They're gonna overcome. Yeah, they're gonna overcome obstacles that way, and they're gonna take that right now while they're young and they can heal faster. They got more energy, they got more strength than what they even know they have. This is time for them to make those mistakes. Mm-hmm. When they start getting older and there's actual real life consequences for it, like more like having to go to jail and stuff like that. That's where they'll learn, and they're like, okay, I know I can't do certain things because, there's consequences, and they correlate with one another. Like,
most people end up in prisons because they never learned that discipline. They never learned the consequences of wrong decisions. It starts at home as a child. Like, I saw a video the other day, Frank, and this kid's telling the mom off, and a little kid just reaches over and slaps the mom on there, but like, oh,
little fat kid,
little big kid, and I'm like, well, man, if I even so much as started reaching, man, I wouldn't even. I would have like, man, and they're like, okay, well,
he was like, how do you like it? How do you like it? Yeah. Man, I would have whooped that kid. That boy would have been drugged by his feet out that door, and I would have. Ooh, man, I would have put my hands on him. There were
so many whoopings and spankings and things in my house, man, that my dad.
It shouldn't get to that point.
No, it shouldn't have to, but it didn't need to.
No, for that lady and that kid.
Yeah, no, because okay, what's going to happen? In his mind, there's no consequence of doing things wrong. Mm-hmm. He's going to go to school. I don't listen to my mom, my dad. What the makes I'm going to listen to the teacher? I'm going to get in trouble with school. Now, here's the deal about getting in trouble with school. Well, you tell me that. Well, I'm going to call my mama. Here comes daddy. Oh, y'all just picking on my kid because y'all racist. Y'all picking on my kids. Y'all don't like them. Y'all picking on my kids because y'all just don't. No. What does he learn? Okay, there's no consequences to me do what I want. The next step is law. Like it or not, you break the law, there's going to be serious consequences, and mama and daddy ain't going to be able to get out of here.
That real world.
But it's the parents' fault. I see a kid act like that. I was like, poor kid, you know. But honestly, it goes back to the parents. You know
it does. But it also goes back to allowing people to learn their lessons when they're younger, regardless of what it is, regardless of where it is.
But if they're trying to block the consequences, which I've seen that too. Well, I saw a video where this girl, she's like, cops coming to get her, and they're like, "Okay, lady, you didn't do this. You paid your ticket, whatever the case may be." And she's like, "No, call my dad." She goes, "Your dad's the one that called us and told you go ahead and pick you up." And she's like, "No, you can't do that." I was like, "Sorry, Larry, you broke the law. You didn't follow up where you're supposed to." Yeah. Your dad's, she missed bail. Okay, she didn't report like that. So either he was going to lose his house or whatever money, or she had to go back in. Man, that girl was crying, "No, call my daddy." She sits down on the ground, and they're like, "The girl, you're going to have to stand up, or we're going to pick you up and throw you in that car." Yeah. But she couldn't.
Either way, you're going in this damn car with us.
But again, all right, you can't wait till they're at that stage, a young lady. You have to start when they're babies. You know what I'm saying?
Instill it whenever they're young.
Yeah, no,
that stuff just don't work. I just don't understand it. It don't make no sense how these people
my granddaughter the
think
other
they
day,
can walk through life without problems.
My granddaughter, I don't know what she did I didn't want her to do it, and it's almost you never get a note from me. My granddaughter wants you like that, but it was something that's probably going to hurt her. So I was like, no, we're not going to do it. No. And she got mad. She threw a fit, and she hits my chest twice. And my daughter looks at me like, you need a spanker? And I was like, I can't. She's my granddaughter. Well, my son-in-law got her, boy, my son-in-law busted her like that. She goes, don't you ever disrespect grandpa like that or like that. And I'm just sitting there, and she's all crying. It's like that. And I'm like, I want to go help her. Like, no, leave her alone, you know.
Oh,
They're like, well, we got to. I was like, yeah, you have to. You have to do that, but not me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I think that you probably should have, because then that shows that
it's
no
hard.
matter who it is,
Yeah,
no
I
matter
know.
how much that person loves and cares for you,
I agree.
that ass whooping cares for you even more.
Yeah, that's
because
why
if you want to
looked
act a fool,
that's
that
why
ass whooping's
her
there
daddy
for it.
needed to get up because I need to make her feel better afterwards. But that's a grandpa, right? Right? Come on, Frank. That's a grandpa,
Oh,
man.
yeah,
grandpa,
that is that.
dude, you
I
would
got
not
you.
believe the power of a granddaughter and a grandson. I used to hear it all the time. Like,
Well,
heck no.
Well, I was that grandson. I got away. My nana let me get away with everything. Like, I'm telling you. But the thing that I loved about it the most is that woman taught me what unconditional love was.
Yeah.
So, like, that was the best thing ever. I mean, don't get me wrong. I did
I'll
some
teach her
messed
that.
up things. I
Unconditional
did a
love.
lot of bad
I'll
stuff.
teach her that. My son-in-law and my daughter can teach her the other stuff.
Yeah, that unconditional love does work. But as soon as there was one time, I'm telling you, one time she got in my ass about something I did. I have never had experienced anything before that.
Mm-hmm.
It was always love and, you know, you get what you want, you can do what you want type of stuff around her. Well, for me anyways. So like that one time she snapped, I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble.
I don't cross the line.
I did something real. I don't think I've ever done that specific thing ever again. I never did.
No, my nephew. My nephew, I told my brother-in-law passed away years back.
But that's how strong that was.
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah. And he had a son, my nephew Ricky, and we all kind of like pitched in and helped to raise him. You know, my sister looked at me a lot toward being a disciplinarian, and I was, you know. But with his grandparents, which are my parents, I mean, dude, he was like, you can't touch this kid. You know what I'm saying? And with my dad and my mom, I mean, they gave him everything like that. You know, they felt for him. They spent a lot of time with him. But
That's how my nana was.
one time, he went and hid himself. And we couldn't find him. And we caught everybody. Yeah, Rick, we lost him. Man, everybody shows up. We live in a small town, Plymouth. Everybody shows up. We're looking in the neighborhood. We call the police. We're going through the alley, dumpsters, you name it. You know, did anybody get anything like that? And my dad and my mom were all worried and stuff. And all of a sudden, he just pops out one of the cabinets like, "Here, I'm here." He was hiding the whole time. He thought it was the funniest
wow.
thing, dude. My sister didn't even get to him. I didn't get to him. His grandpa got to him, and his grandpa beat him. You just see my nephew's eyes like, you know, he's never saw that from my dad. We were like, oh, shoot, he's about to get an old school whipping. Somebody help him. Oh, dude. And he got on one of our old school whippings, man.
Man, I'm telling you, though, that lesson
never
right
forgot
there.
that one.
Yeah, that lesson stuck with him
Oh,
forever. I bet you money. He probably remembers that ass whooping to this
Dude,
day.
I guarantee you, I'm getting him some good ones, but there was nothing like Grandpa, man. So he was like, up to this day, somebody even plays hide and seek. No, I don't want to play. I don't want to play hide and
Take your
seek.
butt over there and sit down.
I don't want to play. Grandpa
This
taught me
is your
everybody
hot
good. He said, I'm out. But yeah, so you know that in that case, that probably thing. If my granddaughter did something like in danger, yeah, then I think I would in a second because I don't want her to put herself in danger. But anything else, yeah, she can get away with murder.
Hey, them lessons, man. Them lessons have to be learned. Because, man.
Yeah.
They're hard. They're hard. But you know what? Hey, Kelton, I'm glad it wasn't you, man. I'm glad you're still alive.
I appreciate
And
it.
just in case you forgot, my name is Miguel Perez.
And I'm Kelton, and we're here with good old Frank at Airplay Studios.
Hey, so
y'all.
like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later.
Thank y'all.